My name is Ryan Harp, and this is FTH 223, assignment number 3. Today's date is August 30th of 2025. As you can see, we've got a firearm in the workspace, so we need to do some things for safety. So number one, we've made sure that there's no live ammunition anywhere in the workspace, and then we need to clear our firearm. So that's going to come with a visual and physical inspection of the pistol. So the first thing, we want to make sure that there's no feed source in the firearm. And again, we check that. Next step is going to be a visual and physical inspection of the chamber. So look, feel, look away, look and feel again, and we are clear. So for today, it's going to be a 3-part assignment. For part number 1, we're going to disassemble the firearm, and we're going to gather some components, and we're going to do a rendering of those components. For part number 2, we'll discuss the importance of that task. And for part number 3, we're going to verify headspace in this firearm.
So we've just reassembled our pistol, and since we're looking at it again, we're going to visually and physically inspect that chamber, make sure it's free and clear of any ammunition, ensuring we have no feed source and no live ammunition in the workspace. So with our renderings, what we had to draw were the guide rod, the firing pin, and the ejector. So, so first up, we'll check out my rendering of the guide rod. And I chose to use graph paper and do 2 times the scale on everything in this to get a good complete picture. So next we've got the firing pin, which required a little more intricacy. And on the front and rear rendering of the firing pin, I chose to go 4 times magnification, just so you could see the difference in the components, and you could see that flush cut side better on both sides of the front and rear of the rendering. So then on to the most difficult. So on the previous drawings, you could see that I included measurements. On this, for the ejector, I know I wrote extractor there, but it's the ejector. So on the ejector, there were just too many angles, so I just did a complete 2 times scale drawing for it from, we've got the left, right, top, front, and back view. This was a difficult and very time-consuming piece to try and get to scale. An area that I had particular trouble with were just keeping these pinholes round. So to address part 2, so these skills are needed for gunsmiths, mostly because if a piece or a component breaks, being able to take very fine measurements and create a rendering will help you recreate that part. I was intimidated at the very least by this part of the assignment, but being able to get this rendering, at least I could understand my drawings and use this scale and scale it down and recreate this part with some machining. A much easier piece would be the firing pin, and perhaps the easiest of all to recreate would definitely be that guide rod. But either way, having these renderings makes it possible. Alright, so for part 3 of the assignment, what we're going to need to do is run through and use these go and no-go gauges. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your breech and your chamber are free of any obstructions, and that they're clear. Next thing, we want to get our go and no-go gauges out. So we've got 9mm Luger go and no-go gauges here. So we've got the go and the no-go. Again, just like the firearm, we want to clear those off, make sure there's nothing on them. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the go gauge, and we're going to slide the barrel into the chamber. And I'm going to do this just like I would do a 1911. I'm going to slide the gauge right under the extractor claw and slide the barrel back to see if it locks. Because these are made of hardened steel, we don't want to do this under spring pressure and do it in the firearm, so we remove the spring and just use hand pressure to ensure that it's seated. So, and we can see with the go gauge in there that we're seated nice and well, and we have to lift the barrel to enable the barrel to slide out. Now with the no-go gauge, the barrel should not close on the breech with the no-go gauge. And if it does, then the weapon is out of spec. So on this one, as you can see, we cannot get the barrel to lock. So the locking lugs will not interact with the barrel. This means that our barrel and slide combination are in specs and do work appropriately.
So we've just finished checking our headspace, verifying it. We're going to double check and ensure that the firearm is free and clear of any ammunition. Again, no feed source, visual and physical inspection into that chamber, and we're satisfied that it is clear. So the big reason that we want to do headspace inspections on firearms, you can have dangerous malfunctions such as like case head separation. It could prevent the firearm from functioning appropriately. It can lead to slam fires, misfires, and failure to appropriately chamber rounds. So that's a big thing that we want to check on any incoming firearm into the shop. So all the resources today came from FTH 223 lecture number 3 at Sonoran Desert Institute.